Land on Broadway and Wall Street, New York City is sold at $7 a square inch. Berlin International Green Week debuts in Germany, and Shakespeare's Memorial Theater in Stratford-upon-Avon is destroyed by fire. The year is 1926, and this Rickenbacker could be seen driving down any city or country road. But before getting into all of it, I'm Jay. Welcome to What It's Like, the automotive channel that features cars that you've never heard of from companies long ago. History, specs, design. Most importantly, we show what these cars are like. If that sounds like interest, a channel that you will totally dig, subscribe and hit the bell icon next to it to never miss a video. All right, story time. Rickenbacker. No, not that Rickenbacker. This Rickenbacker was established by Barney Everett and Captain Eddie Rickenbacker. Barney Everett was born in 1873 in Chatham, Ontario. In the early 1890s, he worked for a carriage company, Hugh Johnson, in Detroit. In 1899, he would start his own carriage company and would do coach work for both Ransom Olds and Henry Ford. Barney Everett would build his very first car in 1904, making his very first car company in 1909, and would last until about 1912. Everett would meet William Medzer and Walter Flanders and would become EMF. In 1919, Barney Everett and his partners, Medzer and Flanders, wanted to start a new company that would offer a higher-end car in the mid-price field. They would approach Eddie Rickenbacker to come on with them because they wanted to use his name. They wanted to use his star power. Eddie Rickenbacker, who was the most interesting man in the world, World War I fighter pilot, Medal of Honor recipient. He was the most successful, most decorated U.S. flying ace in the First World War, with 26 aerial victories, a total badass. Rickenbacker was in business from 1921 through 1927, said to be the first car with four-wheel hydraulic brakes on all four corners, beating Chrysler by 3 years. Also, they implemented a two-wheel flywheel design with a flywheel at the front and a flywheel at the back, said to make the engine super smooth. Rickenbacker failed for a number of reasons. Eddie Rickenbacker got bored and he wasn't focused on the car business and would start Florida Airways in 1926. Walter Flanders would pass on. He was one of the founders and the company's product engineer. Chrysler would offer cars with four-wheel hydraulic brakes for much less. Eddie Rickenbacker would resign in 1926. Rickenbacker would go bankrupt in 1927 with over 27,000 cars built, making them pretty rare today. All manufacturing equipment was sold to Audi and transported to Germany. Let's talk specs. 117 inches is the wheelbase that it rides on. Total Rickenbacker from 1921 through 1927 was just over 27,000 units. Moving on to engine. Only one engine available for the 6 Series, which was the 236 cubic inch displacement flathead inline 6, 3.9 liters. It's good for 60 horsepower at an estimated 1,800 RPM, an estimated 175 pound-feet or 237 newton meters around 1,000 RPM, 3.25 inches in a stroke of 4.75 inches, 7 main bearings. It's backed with a 3-speed manual transmission. If you're in the market for a Rickenbacker with a 6-cylinder engine, you're in luck. This one is currently for sale at Classic Auto Mall, Morgantown, Pennsylvania, with over 1,000 cars for sale when recording this episode. Anybody can go peruse their inventory for more information, pricing, pictures pertaining to this very car. Be sure to click the link below after the show. Let's talk styling. Look at these headlights. Look how massive they are. There's my head. Here's my hand for reference. Also, just check out all the different lines inside the headlight. And there's a bar that comes across, which this other headlight sits on, and it's connected to the fender. Bumpers. Just look at how they are attached. Fenders have this pronounced bead. The louvers have this nice pinstriping going on. I love how the color accents the black in the grille. Rickenbacker 6. Just look at that modem meter. Lots of detail in that. Nice white spokes with more pinstriping. Also look at how these fenders come back. They flow into the running boards, which are very wide. Here's my foot for reference. I wear size 12 shoe. And it tapers in the back. But my size 12 shoe can still fit on this running board. This one does have an external sun visor. It's wrapped in this like rubber material. The top is done in the same material. This car also has strip rails that run the cabin of the car. And then it has these Landau bars at the back to give it a more dressy appearance. The rear fenders have this bead that comes up over and then out the back. This is the way the bumpers are designed. They're like half bumpers, but they're bright. Up front, they were black and bright, a mixture. Check out these brake lights. Rickenbacker logo there. Rickenbacker tire cover. This side there isn't another brake light, so this only has a single brake light. Gas filler here. Single piece back glass, which is real glass. Notice this car doesn't have a place to put a trunk. This door is all framed out. Here's my fingers for reference. Door handle to get out. This is lock and unlock the door. Door handle to pull the door shut. Window crank for the window. Operates like this. Map pockets or door pockets. Coming down inside the pedal box, clutch, brake, gas pedal, place to this is a pedal in which to put your foot, starter. Just take a look at this interior. Here's what over the hood looks like. Here is what first person over the hood would look like. On to the button switches and knobs. Key, 4 buttons, off, direct, low, indirect. Then it says Goodyear at the bottom. This might be the choke. Headlights. 2 black things protruding from the dashboard are the dash lights themselves. Speedometer with odometer and trip. Amp meter, oil pressure, clock. Up above, it's for the windshield wiper, and it's manual, so you'd have to wipe your own windshield. Rear view mirror, that looks aftermarket. Notice there are no sun visors in this car. There also isn't a glove box, so we won't be doing the glove box test. Also just notice all of the, it feels like a felt. It is the headliner. It is everything. The same material that the has on the doors. It's everywhere in here. Yeah, it does. So taking a gander at the back door, it's got a map pocket in on this door as well. Door lock, door handle to get out, door handle to pull the door shut, window crank for the big window. Operates like this. And it goes all the way down. Let's take a look at the interior space in the rear. Tons of space back here. Notice this car does not have jump seats. There's just a lot of leg room in the back. Here is what the front looks like from the back. Let's take a quick gander at the greenhouse, or the pillar to glass ratio in this car. It's very nice. There's lots of windows. This is what visibility looks like out the back from the back seat. There isn't really a parcel shelf. I mean, you could store stuff up here if you want to, right on the back of the seat itself. Talk creature comforts. There are lights, corner lights here, courtesy lights. The windows here go down, as well as these windows, controllable by this T handle here. See them going down. Privacy shades, as well as a light switch for this light. It also activates the light back here. Only one light switch. Curtains on this side, as well as armrest. Look at how petite those armrests are. And they're mounted to the side of the car, not the chair itself or the seat itself. There is a footrest. And just look at how much space you have. There's tons of space between my knee. My knee and the back of the front seat is a good 2.5 feet away. I can touch the front of the back seat with my feet, but I'd have to be like sprawled out in order to do so. All right, so getting under the hood, we already released these. Then you just pick up on that. And the hood's pretty light, all things considered. So there it is, Flathead 6. Vacuum operated fuel pump right there. Look at the steering rack, how it comes down. Updraft carburetor. Intake and exhaust is on this side. Look at how the distributor is right in the center. Man, there's a lot more room on this side. So just look at all that. You have the generator, and it looks like there's a water pump on the back of the generator. Starter. You have to have your trusty oil can right there on the firewall. Notice where the coil is, also mounted on the firewall. On the positive side, you'll be the only one at the shindig with this car. Great conversation starter, spacious in the rear. All side windows open. Against it, parts, body parts, drivetrain parts, impossible to find. Information, people who know these cars are few and far between. Doesn't have a trunk or a place to put one. All right, now it's time for Would You Rather. 2 scenarios today. In the first scenario, would you rather have a 1926 Knight or 1926 Rickenbacker or 1926 Studebaker? I'm going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free. Pause the video. On to the second scenario, 1926 Chandler or 1926 Rickenbacker or 1926 Hudson. Once again, going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. Now it's time for Name That Tune. First person to get both the name of the band and the song title correctly in the comment section will have their comment pinned to the top of it. Thank you all so much for coming out and watching this. If you'd like to get in touch with me, shoot me a comment in the comment section below. I read and answer all comments posted. I don't say that for self-worth or anything. I just say that if you post a comment on here, I will definitely read it. If you'd like to send me something more private, shoot me an email, which will be linked in the description below, or it's on the homepage. Just know I appreciate everything that you guys bring in the comment section. Until next time, toodaloo!